Hi, everyone. I hope you're having a good week, and I'm sure many of you are very, very busy, not only with the class, but with school in general. So I'll try to keep this very, very brief. One thing, this is VISHA week for Iowa State, and those are who are familiar with Iowa State. This is the largest student-run um, celebration in the nation, and it is really fun, and we do a lot of activities all week, and then on Saturday we have a parade, and there's all kinds of campus activities for families and children and so forth on campus. So it's really fun. If those of you that are around Ames, you don't have anything to do this weekend, I would highly recommend it. It really is kind of a fun place to be. It's crowded. Usually about 100,000 people come to campus, but you can usually spread out pretty well, so it doesn't get too bad. So with that, there's my ISU plug. And what I'll get to now is, where are we in the course? Well, we're just about done. As you'll see with the presentation, this week what I do is the last part of that action, the steps to the action research project. The step that I highlight this week is action planning. So how to develop an action plan, and kind of the background of it. You'll see that Mertler and Mills, you have two chapters, both chapter 7 in their books, but they talk about action planning and how to go about it. Basically, what you want to do in this part is you just want to, as a result of what you found out from your study, what will be your plan of action? What will be the steps that you take to get to the next cycle of research? Or what did you learn, and as a result of what you learned, what are you going to do? What are you going to change about your practice or whatever you were doing? So this is kind of the fun part, but I also, one thing with this part is, don't shortchange it, okay? To have a look at your rubric, or in this case your checklist, and there's quite a few points for the action plan associated with the final project. So it should be a rich description, not just one thing. Usually you do several things that you can kind of think about to improve upon, this is what happened. I think I can do this now, and it will make it better. And usually it's not just one thing, but it's a series of things that you might think about it. So give yourself time for reflection and time for kind of being creative in terms of where you want to go with that. Okay, so the only other thing that I really have to kind of mention is, as you start fine-tuning now all of your parts, just remember to go back in the schedule and, oh, what did she say about data collection? Well, I can go back to week 8, and that's where I introduced data collection. Maybe I better watch that, or I can watch parts of it again to get clarification. How did she tell me to write the introduction? Find the different presentations that would help you with that. Also, don't forget parts like this, the one that I did on over spring break, where I talked about the academic writing tips. That one might be a good one to listen to again. It's not that long. That as you're putting together your final draft, did I follow those APA writing guidelines, and all those things that I mentioned in that presentation. So just going back and maybe fine-tuning will help you kind of survive these next couple of weeks. Next week, I will give you more detail about your final presentation, okay? I just don't think any of you need that information quite yet, because I think, you're knee-deep in data, collecting data, analyzing data, and now really formulating a plan of action. So I will reserve that until next week, but I will give you clear directions on how to proceed for that final presentation. And basically that will be a 10-minute presentation about really your findings and your action plan. But I will give you the format of that next week, okay? Remember, the good thing about that is for your presentation, you will have to know your results and you will have to know your action plan, but you don't necessarily have to have it written up because the presentation will be due on April 24th. The write-up of the whole project will be due the day that we meet on May 3rd, okay? Not that you can't have extensions on either or, but we're getting to the point now where we only have so many more days left, okay? So that's to come next week. So I'll leave you with that. I am working on your literature reviews. Several of you have those back already. Remember, it does take me a little bit of time. My goal is to have everybody's feedback for the literature reviews back by April 18th. So it gives me about another week and a half to finish these up. Like I said before, it's not like I can do 5 of these in one day. They take a little bit more time than that, and I do want to spend some time and give you some constructive feedback, and I hope the ones that have gotten them back have agreed that it was probably worth getting the feedback back. So with that, I'll keep plugging away, and you'll know when I get yours done is when I submit it to Moodle. I do submit them right away when I get them finished. So with that, I guess that's all for this week. Have a great week, and please don't hesitate to contact me via email. I can do a Google Hangout. I can do a Skype with you if you have any questions specific about your project that you need to discuss with me. It's fine. I'll be glad to do that. Okay? Okay. So with that, I'll bid you goodbye and have a great week. Happy Visha.